Oh my god, 2 discussions in one day? Is he mad? No, I'm just making up for yesterday. So, what I'm talking about on my second rant of the day is reprints. Why? Because Astral Pack has been announced for the reprint of Bujin Yamato. Some people freak out about reprints. Not all. Most players are okay with reprints. But there's a lot of people that think reprints are bad for the game. And I'm going to tell you all the reasons why it's good, because I don't think there are any reasons for bad, so there won't be any bad. Reasons why it's good. It punishes players that go out and get good cards right away. And why is that a good thing? Because punishing players that get the good cards, it's not that you need it, but it's kind of like, if you want to play that good of a deck, and you want to beat everybody, well, now you have to deal with budget players being able to afford your deck. So it's kind of like a punishment. Like, you want to be the best, well, now you have to be on the best with a bunch of other level playing field that can afford it. Though that kind of sounds kind of childish, I just think that's the way it should go. If you're going to pay expensive for a deck, you should be able or be ready to see budget players play your deck more often. That's why cards get reprinted. If it's with an archetype, if there's cards that can be played in any deck, like a Black Ship of Corn that got released, or Diamond Direwolf, then that's a different story. Now, those stories are, it gives all player ranges the ability to have more step into the meta, into the game to go farther. There are some players that do not like dropping $35 on an XC that blows up himself along with an opponent's card or monster. I forget Diamond Direwolf's exact effect. The card is good to get around problem monsters. It's not $35 good. So I never bought one until it got reprinted, because now it's like, what, $2, $3? Black Ship of Corn, good card, it's comparable to Pappy, but wasn't $20 good for me to go get it, because it was a manga exclusive or manga or whatever. And that's just dumb. Like, what? So now it gives players the range to compete with the players that have only had these good cards, because now they're on the same level. And yes, new XCs as and monsters come out, but ones that are standard in every deck haven't really come out lately. I mean, there has been, but not as much. So now that you have these reprints of the original ones that are good, more players have more of a foot in the higher ups against tournaments and stuff. They have a better chance. They can compete. Another reason reprints are good isn't only because of price. It's because the card, it's just hard to get your hands on. Yes, that usually goes hand in hand with price, but card getting your like, okay, Quasar. Quasar's kind of expensive now. Yes, it is expensive now. But it's also hard to get your hands on. Like, you don't find many people with Quasars around, even at locals or stuff like that. You just don't see many people with Quasars. And meanwhile, Quasars weren't even printed out in England or United Kingdom or something like that. It's only been printed in the US. So a reprint would be good so everybody can play it. More people have the options of it. You'd see more play, which would be fun because Quasar's an interesting play, though annoying. But it would liven up and more people could play it, and it wouldn't be hard. If you got reprinted, I still think it'd be a pretty valuable card. I think it'd be $5 or $6 because that card is so sought after. And that might seem that is really cheap compared to it, but most cards out there get reprinted in tins as super rares and stuff. They're like $1, $2. I think this might even hold a $5 or $6 value, but that's not really important about what we're talking about. And thirdly, which most people probably won't like this one, but it gives Konami money, and everybody's gonna be pissed off. But yes, it gives Konami more money because everybody goes and buys the reprints of the tins or whatever it comes out, booster boxes, battle pack, even though. Yeah, battle pack, stuff like that. It gives Konami more money. And why is that important? Which everybody, I think, forgets about. Yes, Konami is a company, they do make money, they have video games, stuff like that. They don't need their income from the card game to survive, but you want the card game to survive if you enjoy it. You don't want to be a card game that fizzles out or doesn't have that big of a following. You give us a pretty good big following, and the cards you want cards to keep coming out, you want the business to keep going. So reprints are good because you do buy into it. And when reprints come out, I think it's like more of like a live thing to go get those cards than it is booster boxes sometimes. Because like booster boxes, you're like, okay, there's expensive cards, I'll just go buy them. Tins, you're like, tins, $15, $20, I'll pick it up for bullshit, and then I'll just get my promos out of it, and then maybe get something out of the packs. Literally, they never do. They really need to get some bigger pull ratios on those packs, I swear to God. That's for another video. But yeah, that's a good reason for the game, regardless if anybody would like to hear that. It is good for reprints to come out, because it gets people putting their money back in the Konami pool. But the one that I already said, it kind of goes hand in hand with this. It gives budget players a higher up scale on how good they are and where they compete against higher players. But the thing is too, it just livens up the game. People have access to more cards, so you see other decks be played. Some person who was maybe had some deck like Cloudians or something was like, oh, now I got this XYZ, even though I don't know why that would go together. But just say if it did. Now I'm going to I have the cards I would need to make this deck a little better, so now I'm going to go enter a tournament when before he wasn't going to because he didn't have the right cards. So you'll see more people enter things when they get their good cards that they really didn't want to pay for from before, and now it livens up. Will they win? Maybe, probably not, but it livens up the game so you're not playing against 10 meta decks when you go to a tournament. I know 10's a high number. I'm just saying, you're not playing the same consistently fucking thing over and over, and it levens up the game for everybody, which I'd say for a majority of people is good and fun. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts on reprints and why they're good for the game. Let me know yours down below and all of that stuff and everything you want to tell me to make me feel good. But yeah, guys, that's all for me. I'm out. Peace!